Burkina Faso is building more than just infrastructure, it's building momentum. The government has officially kicked off the expansion of the CIMAF Cement Factory, a move set to strengthen the country's industrial backbone. With demand for cement rising fast across the region, this project promises more jobs, faster construction, and reduced reliance on imports. It's a bold step towards self-sufficiency in the construction sector and a signal that Burkina Faso is serious about growth from within.
My fellow citizens, today we are rewriting history. With the launch of a $26 billion cement plant, Burkina Faso steps into a new era of self-reliance, industrial strength, and national pride. For too long, we have imported what we could produce. Today, that ends. This factory is not just about cement, it is about jobs for our youth, infrastructure for our people, and a future we control. Let the world take note, Burkina Faso is no longer waiting for permission to rise. We are building the foundations of a strong, independent Africa with our own hands, from our own land.
In today's video, we unpack what this expansion means for the economy and beyond. This breaking story comes straight from Construct Africa News. Boosting national infrastructure through cement production, Burkina Faso is entering a new era of infrastructure investment, and the recent expansion of CIMAF's cement plant signals a major inflection point. With capacity increasing by roughly 40%, the facility now churns out over 1.2 million metric tons annually, enough to catalyze new roads, schools, and health clinics across the country. Under Traoré's leadership, the project aligned closely with national development priorities, creating more than 500 construction and engineering jobs locally. These aren't just numbers, they represent families putting food on the table and communities empowered to build their own futures. The plant's upgraded kilns also boast a 20% reduction in CO2 emissions per ton of cement, a meaningful step toward cleaner industry. Recent reports show countrywide cement consumption has jumped 15% year over year, reflecting economic activity finally behind the wheel.
Ibrahim Traoré cut the ribbon, and boom, Burkina Faso has a brand new cement factory, CIMAF, thanks to a partnership with China. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the catch. Burkina already has 6 cement plants producing twice what the country actually needs, yet prices are still sky high. Factories are running at 50% capacity, but somehow a bag of cement still costs nearly $10. At this rate, building a house in Burkina feels like applying for a bank loan. Hopefully, this new plant shakes things up, because if prices don't drop soon, people might start considering mud huts as a permanent real estate solution.
For citizens, this means 2 things. First, affordable access to materials for homes and businesses. Second, the tangible transformation of public infrastructure, paved roads, reinforced bridges, and modern public buildings. In American-style storytelling, it's like watching a hometown team break ground on a new stadium, except here, the entire nation is the team. As neighborhoods see new schools going up and markets taking shape, you feel the momentum. Traoré's role? Guiding the strategy, but letting Burkinabe ingenuity and entrepreneurship take center stage. The nationalist element blends with a results-driven mindset, making it resonate with American audiences who value get-it-done leadership. And this isn't hype, it's grounded in daily life improvements that people notice. Economic ripple effects, jobs, SMEs, and local growth. When you expand a cement factory in a developing country, the ripple effects reach far beyond the production line, and that's exactly what's happening in Burkina Faso. The CIMAF factory's expansion created over 500 new direct jobs, but that's only the beginning. Up to 2,000 indirect jobs have popped up in quarrying, logistics, retail, and construction, sparking new small and mid-sized businesses in nearby towns. Under Traoré's vision for inclusive growth, local entrepreneurs received microloans and training to start support services like hardware shops and maintenance contractors.
Number 2. Burkina Faso Mega Cement Factory. In March 2025, President Ibrahim Traoré inaugurated the CIMAF cement plant in Laongo, a major industrial plant backed by China. The plant represents a $42.9 million investment aimed at boosting local production, creating over 1,000 jobs, and strengthening economic self-reliance. Currently, the plant has a capacity to produce 2,000 tons of cement per day and plans to expand to 1.2 million tons annually.
Recent local surveys from Koudougou and Zignaré reveal a 25% surge in small hardware store openings since the CIMAF cement plant scaled up. For everyday listeners, that translates to more job security, a broader economic base, and a renewed sense of pride in locally owned businesses. But the bigger picture, cement demand directly fuels the push for affordable housing. With a 15% national rise in building permits year over year, many families are now realizing their dream of home ownership, kicking off a powerful ripple effect of local spending on furniture, repairs, landscaping, and services. According to CTOS of several regional construction firms, stabilized cement prices, thanks to a stronger domestic supply, have cut overall building costs by as much as 10%. That price drop is making new builds more accessible across urban and semi-urban areas. It's not just about concrete, it's about community growth, financial inclusion, and long-term development rooted in local capacity. That kind of practical impact really hits home. It's classic American-style narrative. Identify the problem, deliver a solution with measurable numbers, and spotlight everyday people as heroes. You don't need flashy politicians taking bows. Instead, show how the country, directed by Traoré's policy framework, is lifting livelihoods from the ground up. That subtle framing respects the audience's skepticism while giving credit where it's due. Uplift by empowerment. Energy efficiency and environmental stewardship. Cement production is notorious for its environmental footprint, but this expansion took a forward-looking, smarter approach. CIMAF's new production lines include waste heat recovery systems, capturing up to 30% of kilns' thermal energy to power auxiliaries like grinding mills and conveyor belts. That's a major reduction in diesel and grid electricity usage, estimated at 18,000 megawatt-hours annually. Traoré's administration has emphasized green growth, tying the expansion into national commitments under the Paris Agreement, with goals to reduce industrial carbon intensity by 25% by 2030.
L'initiative présidentielle, c'est une belle initiative de penser au pays, c'est comme le Bertrand a dit. Si nous on ne le fait pas, personne d'autre ne le fera à notre place. Et aujourd'hui, qu'on le veuille ou non, tout acte qu'on posera pourra avoir un impact. Et je veux dire que c'est un commencement, un appel à toute la nation de s'y mettre, parce que le pays nous appartient et aussi c'est à nous vraiment de commencer et les autres nous accompagneront. En sélection, on va essayer de parler à nos coéquipiers et je pense qu'ils seront ouverts parce qu'on les connaît depuis longtemps et on sait qu'ils ont un bon cœur. Et donc, nous, on a fait le premier pas et je pense que d'autres suivront.
The plant now features a limestone blending process that lowers clinker use by incorporating up to 15% industrial byproducts, mining fines, fly ash, and slag, turning waste into workable materials. Environmental groups monitoring dust and emissions report compliance rates above 95% of national standards, and actual fugitive dust levels dropped 12% post-upgrade. For American YouTube viewers, visuals of clean, efficient kilns with modern filtration systems speak volumes about responsible development. It's not just about pouring concrete, it's about doing it the right way. Traoré's leadership isn't a billboard. It's a quiet endorsement of high-efficiency standards and sustainability, and the results are material, not just buzzwords. Communities around the site have reported improved air quality and fewer respiratory complaints in clinics. Independent testing labs confirm that water runoff is being treated and reused. This is infrastructure with accountability, exactly the kind of balanced, modern development story that resonates with audiences who value economic growth and environmental responsibility. Strengthening regional markets and supply chains. Burkina Faso isn't building in isolation. The CIMAF expansion strengthens regional resilience. With increased production, the plant now meets up to 70% of domestic demand and is exporting about 200,000 metric tons per year to neighbors like Mali, Niger, and Côte d'Ivoire. That helps stabilize prices regionally and reduces reliance on imports. Just within the last quarter, cement prices in Ouagadougou dropped by 8% compared to a year ago, according to the Burkinabe Ministry of Commerce. Traoré's regional integration angle builds stronger trade ties without high tariffs or isolation, reinforcing economic diplomacy. For audiences used to cross-border commerce narratives, like US-Canada-Mexico linkage, this feels familiar. Plus, the factory triggered upgrades in road and rail logistics. The government financed a new 50-kilometer freight corridor linking the plant to the Abidjan-Ouagadougou corridor. Transport costs fell by nearly $4 per ton, saving construction companies about $800,000 annually. Regional transport companies added 12 new trucks to their fleets, creating new jobs. The expanded plant is also a training hub. Technicians from 3 countries undergo 6-month courses in kiln maintenance and quality control. This knowledge transfer embeds Burkina Faso as a tech center for cement in West Africa, not just a raw supplier. That's strategic fortification under a regional leader's guidance, Traoré's leadership framing in action. You're showing your YouTube audience how local development can radiate beyond borders. It's not grandstanding, it's pragmatic, modern statecraft wrapped in human impact. Quality and standards, raising the bar for construction safety. Merely producing more cement isn't enough, it's about making it better. CIMAF invested in ISO 9001 standard quality systems for testing and monitoring, enabling consistent strength and purity. Lab data released by Burkina's Bureau of Standards show that 92% of cement bags tested in the last month exceeded minimum compressive strength by 10%, compared to 75% prior to the expansion. That translates to safer buildings and fewer structural failures. Under the National Construction Code, enforced through status updates implemented under Traoré's oversight, builders now routinely submit third-party mill test reports. Civil engineering firms report 30% fewer warranty claims this year. Consumers building homes in Ouagadougou confirm that cement bonds well, walls stay plumb, and finishes hold paint longer. It's a subtle but powerful effect. Trust in materials underpins long-term investment in property and infrastructure. The video narrative here zeroes in on homeowner interviews, quality control visuals, and expert sound bites about lab consistency. The message, Burkina Faso isn't just keeping up, it's pushing standards higher for resilient, long-lasting construction. That lifts the entire industry. Traoré's hand isn't front and center, but it's clearly in the background. He's setting expectations, but letting engineers, inspectors, and entrepreneurs drive the results. It's a classic American ethos: lead by example, empower others, let deliverables speak. Looking ahead, scaling up innovation and national prosperity. As CIMAF's expanded capacity settles in, attention shifts to the next frontier: innovation and scaling. The plant is piloting geopolymer cement blends using local laterite clay, reducing CO2 per ton by up to 60% if scaled. Farmer cooperatives are delivering feedstock, which creates new rural value chains. The government's Innovation Fund, launched under Traoré's authority but managed by independent boards, is granting $2 million to startups building solar-powered grinders and low-emission brick presses. Imagine villages producing their own sustainable building blocks and powering them with their own grid. That's the kind of transformational story that captures American viewers. Grassroots innovation, bottom-up growth, national ecosystem collaboration. The next phase also includes a Cement for Schools initiative, allocating subsidized bags to regional governments for priority public buildings. That program rolled out in June 2025, with 50 schools already receiving deliveries. Under Traoré's leadership, logistics systems ensure remote communities aren't left out. And don't forget the private sector. Construction firms expanding into modular housing using CIMAF's improved material quality, reducing build times by up to 25%. Future exports also look promising. Letters of intent exist with Ghana and Senegal to double exports within 2 years. This sets Burkina Faso on a path toward becoming West Africa's cement powerhouse. The tone? Optimistic but grounded, crediting systematic policy under Traoré while showcasing grassroots innovation, local entrepreneurs, and regional ambition. That nuanced narrative hits a sweet spot. Leadership that enables, communities that deliver, and a nation stepping confidently into its industrial future. With the CIMAF Cement Factory expansion now in motion, Burkina Faso is laying the groundwork, literally and economically, for a more resilient future. As new production lines roll out, the nation is positioning itself as a cement hub for West Africa, capable of meeting both local and regional demand. It's an industrial win with the potential to ripple across housing, roads, and infrastructure projects nationwide. As construction season heats up, this move could be a total game changer. We'll be tracking it closely. This update was brought to you by Construct Africa News, your trusted source for the continent's construction breakthroughs.